Well, CoastLife, we chat a lot here about the performing arts. We love our friends that cover a lot of live theater here in the area, including the Possum Point Players. But this is a little different for you. We've got our friends from Possum Pictures joining us. We've got Ray Crew, writer and director of this upcoming film that we're going to chat about. And Ray, you've got another guest with you here on the couch.
I do. The name of the film is Sherlock Holmes and the Angels of Vengeance. And today I brought with me one of the characters from the film. This is Mrs. Hudson. She's the proprietor of
Hello, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, it's ever so nice to meet you.
It's ever so nice to have you here on the couch. Mrs. Hudson is played by Gail Wagner. And Gail, you're also the executive producer on this film. So why don't we dive into, I mean, first of all, Sherlock Holmes and the Angels of Vengeance. That's a name that's already got everybody hooked.
Well, that's good. Why don't you address what it's like to have these two lodgers and your experience of having to deal with them? And these are not your normal tenants, after all.
They are not. Mr. Holmes is incredibly demanding, and he keeps thinking I am his maid. And I have to remind him, I am your landlord, not your maid. But Dr. Watson is such a gentleman. Oh, you couldn't get a better man. He's married now.
Oh, yes. Congratulations to Dr. Watson. Sounds like Mr. Holmes is a little bit like one Charlie Sakaitis that I know. I'm just kidding. But why don't we dive into some of the details of this film, what it's like to kind of put this whole thing together, and where people can see it, because it's going to be, this is really cool.
It is. It's a long story, but to make it a little bit shorter, this is a play that I wrote that was performed in Cape May back in 2018, had a successful run, and I had played the character of Holmes for 10 years over there at different festivals, but after that I moved to Delaware, kind of put it in the bottom drawer and forgot about it. Then one day, a little over a year and a half ago, I was talking to my executive producer here about a completely different topic, and just happened to mention that I had this script. I said, I could never produce it as a film because it's a period piece. You need the wardrobe, you need the locations. And she said, oh no, we can do that. You can do this. And so she's the one that talked me into doing this. I was perfectly happy to let it be in the bottom drawer, but Gail wouldn't let it rest. So at her prodding and urging, I turned it into a screenplay, which we shot it over the course of the winter, entirely on location here in Delaware. And it premieres October the 11th at Possum Point Players, 7 p.m. And then from there, hopefully to Amazon and who knows where.
And I have to add that I did say to him, oh, I think I can costume that. I think we can do that. We should be able to do that. Ray, he was the Renaissance man. He was doing the camera, he was doing the sound, he was setting everything up.
Yeah. Right. So let's talk about the vision and the story a little bit. For folks who do come out October 11th to catch Sherlock Holmes and the Angels of Vengeance, what are they in store for?
Well, it's different. And I hope it's different in a good way. We imagine Holmes at the time of his retirement in 1899, until one day he's visited by a woman who not only pulls him out of retirement, but pulls him into a plot and a conspiracy that threatens both the crown and civilization. And the woman that knocks at his door steps out of the pages of American history. Her name is Anna Surratt. She's the daughter of Mary Surratt, the only woman ever hanged by the US government for her part in the Lincoln assassination. And we think that she's there to have Holmes investigate the conspiracy that led to her mother's death, but of course she has other agendas. So we go from one presidential assassination to the McKinley assassination, and of course Moriarty's involved. But I think
Gotta have Moriarty.
Gotta have Moriarty.
But I think what makes this story different, Leah, is that it's not just an elaborate whodunit. We actually spend time getting to know Holmes and Watson in particular, their demons, the things that haunt them. Loneliness, addiction. You know, we find out, and these are all things that Conan Doyle put out there. You just have to work with them. Watson is a war veteran. He's got what would today be called PTSD. And so all of this, and they have very different politics, very different philosophies. And so all of this comes to a head. You're not only watching them confront these global forces, but you're also watching their friendship potentially unravel and then come back together. So it's a different Sherlock Holmes. It's much more character driven than it is plot driven. One extra thing since we're here, about a month and a half ago, I got a phone call from a London publisher who became aware of the screenplay because it's a very small world. And they're a niche publisher, and he said, you know, if your goal is to have the film streaming on Amazon, you really should have a book that accompanies it. So he talked me into redoing the screenplay, and it got published, and it drops October the 15th on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, $12.95.
How exciting is that?
That's so exciting. I mean, it's, again, you take little old Delaware, and we have all this magic happening right here in the
Yes.
first state,
Yes.
and it's something that you definitely want to. You don't want to miss the opportunity to see this all in action before, hey, maybe it really blows up. But you guys have sort of a creative twist for folks that do come out October 11th to Possum Point Players. If they come dressed similarly to Mrs. Hudson here, there's a little something in it for them, right?
Well, not only will we take them up on stage with the cast
Yes.
after the show, they'll have an opportunity to appear in the sequel if we think that their character warrants. So not only come out in character or in costume, come out in character also. Now there are 2 ticket price levels. One is $15 for general admission. Doors open at 6:30, by the way. $25 gets you admitted a half hour early, and you get a meet and greet with Holmes and Watson in character, as well as Loveday Brooke, who's another Holmes-like character that we brought into the storyline. So you get to spend some time with them in character for half an hour. Yeah, it's going to be a great time.
All right.
I'm not going to say any more than that. But
All right. Well, you don't have to, because everybody's going to show up October 11th
That's right.
at Possum Point Players to catch Sherlock Holmes and the Angels of Vengeance. I think this is just a really great event, and thank you guys for coming in to tell
for
us about
having
it
us.
today.
We look forward to seeing all of you there.
Of course. Coming up on CoastLife, though, I wore orange for a reason. Pumpkin spice season is here. We've got a great debate for you. Is she what she says she is, or is pumpkin spice overhyped? That's on the way.